Hi friends, my name is Rishikesh Jalindar Yadav and today's topic in uh, Spring Auto-wired. Spring Auto-wired annotation is used for automatic dependency injection. Spring framework is built on dependency injection and we inject the class dependencies through Spring Bean configuration file. Spring Auto-wired automation configuration is Spring Bean configuration file. This can be done by context annotation configuration element or by defining a bean of type Spring Framework B answer factory annotation auto-wide annotation bean post processor qualifier annotation. This annotation is used avoid configure in bin mapping and we need to provide the bin name that will be used for auto-wiring. This way we can avoid issues where multiple bins defined for same type. This annotation usually work with the auto-wired annotation. For constructor with the multiple argument we use the annotation with the argument name in the method. By default Spring Bean auto-wiring is turned off. Spring Bean auto-wire default value is default, that means by an auto-wiring is to be performed. Auto-wire value no also have the same behavior. To showcase the use of Spring Bean auto-wiring, let's create a simple Spring Maven project. The final project will look below image. Let's look into each of the auto-wire. For what will we create a model bean and the service class where we'll inject the model bean. Spring auto-wired annotation Maven dependencies for Spring auto-wiring. We don't need to add any additional dependencies. Our uh, XML file has Spring Framework core dependencies. When this bean will be initialized by Spring Framework, bean with name as employee will be user auto-wiring. Spring auto-wired annotation expect one argument required, that is boolean with default value or true. We can define it to be a false so that Spring framework and throw an exception if no suitable bean is found for auto-wiring. Spring auto-wired annotation bean configuration file. Spring Bean configuration file is the main part of the Spring application. Let's see how our Spring Bean configuration file looks and the will look at each part of it. Important points Spring Bean configuration file. First, beans element default auto-wired is used to define the default auto-wiring method. Here I am defining the default auto-wiring method to be by name. Beans element default auto-wire candidate is used to provide the pattern for bean names that can be used for auto-wiring. For simplicity, I am allowing all the bean definition to be eligible for auto-wiring. However, we can define some pattern of auto-wiring. For example, want only DAO bean definition for auto-wiring, we can specify it as a default auto-wiring candidate state DAO. Auto-wire candidate false is used to be definition to make ineligible for auto-wiring is useful when thank you for